Yeah, we already live, so
Here we are.
yes, hi.
Hello, world.
Just continue with your guitar, Jiro.
I love that little dot in the corner.
Yeah.
How much guitar would you like?
You could continue.
Thomas always tell me I should play with a metronome, but I just enjoy it.
Yeah.
No matter what time or key.
Is that the song that you know, or is that do you invent?
No,
as you
I'm
play?
just moving between two chords. I often teach people these two chords because they're you can just grab them with a hand. I don't know if you can see my hand very well.
Yeah. No. So when did you start learning the guitar, Jiro? It's not so long ago, right?
No, well, I played as a kid, and I think when I was 14 is really when I started. My dad had like a garage sale classical around, and the action was super bad. And I learned a couple Beatles songs because it was in the case. And then I played saxophone, so that was like a forced learned instrument as a kid. It wasn't fun, but I was really good at it, and I never really liked it, but I was good at it. And so when it came time that I could quit, I did. And then my high school was a Catholic all boys school, and it was very sports oriented. And
Right.
O'Day High School, for anybody out there who's listening, it's a sort of a brotherhood in this area of Seattle, you know, people that have gone there, but arts wasn't the thing. But at 14, I mostly listened to rap growing up. So guitar wasn't like a first instrument, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got the, I think I was, for my 14th birthday, I got an electric guitar. And then I had taken that to music camp. And there was a kid named Eric there. And he really helped me kind of understand that don't overthink this instrument. And so I started having all kinds of fun with, like, you know, all that Nirvana stuff that's really easy. Cause like, and so I got kind of far with the instrument and then went to boot camp, and then that sort of ate up all of my creativity, and I didn't get back to it for years and years and years. Even though I had a guitar with me, it was always in the closet. And so it wasn't until COVID, or before COVID, I had lost the sight in my left eye and was in, chronic pain, and had this brain condition and was stuck in the house. And so as I got healthy is when the instruments became, an experience. It wasn't a hard thing to learn. And so it really kind of helped me express myself and kind of get from my head to my heart in a way, you know. And I know a lot of people, when they get into music, it's very difficult and it's hard. And like, I think I learned it early in the trials of life, allowed me to not worry about it. So I just kind of experience it. So that's where I am today. Even as I'm playing, I wasn't in time and I'm in the wrong this or that, but none of that matters because we're just enjoying our time together. And so I try to just maintain that spirit of that's what music's for, connecting and fun, you know.
And expressing. I discovered this some time ago is that, you know, I kind of, with the ukulele or with the singing, is that I'm, maybe I don't want to express it or to say it, you know, to sing, for instance, because I know people who have a very good ear. And so I'm kind of trying to maybe not impress them, but trying to, you know, make them comfortable with the singing, because, you know, that type of things. But basically that doesn't matter. What matters is that you're enjoying yourself, you're learning as you're playing, you're trying out some stuff, and then and basically about connecting with other people and creating that beautiful atmosphere as you were starting. So that's that's what I'm learning.
I think that's the next step for me too, that I'm missing, is that the human connection. And so you and I have tried to do some music virtually with someone else, and some of those ideas are still in the works, but it's never the same unless you're in the room, you know. And obviously we're all missing that, and there's a big river in between you and I, you know. And so, you know, there's a lot of I think coming out of this era, I really feel like there's going to be an explosion of creativity because of people like me. I'm not the only one in my basement creating a studio last year and experiencing art and those kind of things. So I think it'll be really neat.
Yeah, and also people who are normally on the roads and, you know, performing and that type of things, they will also have a lot of things to say and a lot of time, I guess, to also explore new projects, maybe, or to, you know, to disconnect from some of the things they've been doing and then do something else, maybe, or try out, you know, one of their dreams, and that could be quite interesting. But yeah, we have a hunger for getting together again and playing and having fun, which is something I don't know much, so that's something I'm really looking forward to explore as well. So.
You know more than you think you do, just based upon our experience on Friday. It's all about the environment and nurturing, and like you know, how that whole thing came about. That really surprised me by the end, how it just kind of kept building. I mean, we'd had some others, but I can kind of sense that, like, that's how music is between people, where you start with the room and we're just hanging out and talking, and like every time I've written a song, it's been 4, 5, 6 hours in a room till late night. And then, you know, that experience. And you virtually did that really Friday. It was crazy for me anyways. I really felt the creative connectedness. And I think at the end I was like, man, I just wish I could have hugged everybody. That was the only thing.
I would have loved that. By the way, Friday, for those who are watching and don't know, it's we had a poetry workshop where on the topic of welcoming our visible and invisible disability, and it was mind-blowing. Was really wonderful as a workshop. So I was glad that you were here.
Mind-blowing is the word. It was
I don't know what word it is.
Experiential, like it's still happening, I think. Seeds of it happen, and I'm sure the people on the other side of it are doing the same thing I am. There was a whole lot that came out of that personally, you know. And it was fun, growth, connected. Like you couldn't pick one word. It was, I think I texted you, unreal. Like it just was, didn't think that could happen through a screen. Right. And it really did. And, you know, even I what was amazing was to see Stace and Rob just fall into it. Not for people watching, that's my wife. And you know, she'd never really done a workshop like this, and neither had Rob, who is one of my best friends and my second business partner. And both of them are very intelligent smart people. But I didn't ever expect it to go right to their heart. And then just, they unleashed their heart and soul.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, it just, I mean, I was weeping.
Yeah.
I was touched and moved.
Yeah.
I learned
Yeah,
about my spouse and my friend, it's just crazy. I did not expect any of that.
Yeah, I was in tears too. It was really, really powerful and emotional.
Yeah.
And I've heard as well, it kind of stayed, and it is with me as well now. So it's kind of still doing its work. So that's some and one of the participants also, she wrote a third poem. She'd written 2 small ones, and now she today she wrote another one. So that's pretty cool.
That is.
Do you have your poem there at hand?
Do
you want to read it?
And before I read it, I'll speak to, I think, why it caught me off guard, because one of the things that you do that I've learned from you is to not be afraid to take ideas along the way of everybody, because by the time it enters my brain and out, it's a new idea. It's not stolen, but it is stolen. And I kind of like the idea of like, oh, I'm going to take that, I'm going to take this, and so, when we started,
I call it a harvest rather than stealing.
Yeah, harvest. That's great. Harvest is that's really, that is what's happening, because you don't know, how much you're supposed to grab, so you just grab, and that's really what it was. And let me pull it out of here so I'm not staring at the floor. The one thing. So we broke out in groups, and as we broke out in groups,
so be careful what you're saying, right, Darren?
You got me. I know. I got you. As we broke out in groups, when I went in, I had an idea of what I was going to write about, my invisible disability. I think a lot of mine people can see the visible things, but some of the hidden things. And so I felt like I was going to go into this totally other area. And what I had learned from these other 2 people that I have known because I'm on LinkedIn, or I subtly know them. I don't know them deeply. But what I heard was an idea, and it wasn't their idea. It was me picking the words through the way. And the word that I didn't think I still had in me, but it was hypervigilant. And I thought when I took off, for those that are watching, I'm an American, and I used to former military, but for a very short time. And, but I went very militant with my life and ideas. And I always carried a gun and a knife, and and I was always scanning for danger, and training for danger alone in my off time, drawing from the hip, doing, just things like, I'm not a police officer, but I trained because I'm like, I always have to defend somebody. And what I didn't know was, even though I had put my weapons away in exchange for what you see behind me, like that was a very physical aspect of my life that I felt called to do. Trade in my weapons for instruments. And as I did that, I found deep freedom in the instruments. And there was never a freedom in the vigilance. Right. But what happens is, with COVID and all these other things, I don't think I'm walking in fear, but there's I'm so good at being hypervigilant because I spent my lifetime of creating it, that I didn't realize that I should be watching for that, because it robs me. I can't experience this day I'm in if I'm just waiting for the around the corner. And so that was the gift I got. And even today, I said to myself, hey, that's hypervigilant, man. Let it go. Yeah. And I was and there was a freedom where I wasn't confronted, and it was just a soft, I'm going to let this go. And the peace that came from that was amazing. So we didn't just write a poem. That's what I'm saying. It was changing. There was things I learned from myself, and one of the other persons there was going to just write about trees, and they had an idea, and I'm going to write about trees in the forest. And I'm like, awesome. And I didn't think I was going to write about that either, but this is how, and then I'm just going to read my poem, and you'll see how that I guess full circle came to be in me, you know,
Yeah.
where it accidentally shows up all through it. And that was so cool. Are we ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the name of the poem is Rambo.
Oh,
Rambo.
sorry, I'm interrupting you because I see there's somebody live there. So
Who
I
is
want
it?
to say hi. We weren't expecting it. Hi, Aline. She's a friend of mine. So hello. It's so cool. Welcome. And just anyway, so go for the poem now.
All right.
Sorry.
Do I need to explain Rambo, or do people know who he was?
The way you explained it on Friday, I felt was beautiful. So it would be lovely, I think, to say that.
Okay, so there's an American movie from the 80s called Rambo, and this guy was a post-military veteran, post-war Green Beret, saw a lot of combat, and he was trying to return to this small town here in Washington State where I live. And he's walking down the street with his simple bag. It's all he has left. And he just wants to go in the woods or just be at peace because he's experienced too much of the dark side of life. And they pick him up and they arrest him and all these things. And I never knew that Rambo was also part of his character was being part native, but he was appeared to be from the outside a white man, which is very much me. And a lot of people, without knowing me, you wouldn't think, you know, from the surface that I'm native, right? And so the whole thing was him. I mean, in the end, he steals all the weapons and just kills everybody because he wants to be just left alone. He just wants to return to the woods and just be at peace. And I'm not a combat veteran, nor have I, you know, I've experienced violence, but it's not like that. It has affected me in ways that I'm trying to let go of. And so that's why Rambo. So here we go. Rambo. Hypervigilant, towers like cedars, always growing and protecting, roots spread, deeply connected, grounded, a task meant not for me. As I climb this tree, it's supposed to be shadows of me, prison free, wonderfully.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it touches me every time.
As I wrote it, I really tried to visualize like how much of is just deep below our feet that's protecting us that we'll never see, you know, whether that's for you, God, or the literal roots. But there is so much going on that is wonderful.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, we are much more protected and safe and nourished than we think.
Yeah.
We tend to sort of cut ourselves from all of that, but actually, so Aline is asking if you are a veteran. So,
yes.
And okay.
Both my wife and I were in the U.S. Marines. My wife was in much longer than I. I was in for about 1.5 years and was injured. So I'm a disabled vet, but not a wartime vet.
Yeah.
And the people that have shot at me were not in the military.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. There's no benefits for that, except I ran fast and I'm fine.
And Kenneth is here as well.
Kenny.
Savor the flavor. Yes.
I can't read it that fast.
Savor the flavor of the awesomeness in you peeps for sharing your delectable nuggets of wisdom, kindness, goodness, patience, encouragement, empathy, understanding, sincerity, perseverance, knowledge, honesty, love, hope, courage, tenacity, awesomeness, caring, positivity, compassion, passion, inspiration. Wow, I think that's the longest I've seen from you, Kenneth.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think he was really putting the love in on this one. We are feeling it, Kenny. Thank you.
And so Aline is saying the poem is so beautiful. Yes, it is. Oh, wow. I don't know what to say right now. So
what was your takeaway? Did you write a poem, or were you just have more present in managing the flow?
Yeah, I was more present in managing the flow. Well, I wrote a poem, with the video that you made me do about the juggling and about so there, I wrote a few lines uh, in the instance on the fly, huh? So
Yeah.
that was cool to do. But it's the poems themselves that you wrote, that everybody wrote, are also nourishing me. And there was so much also to unpack still, I think, from what was shared, or from the also that feeling of being connected and understanding as well, because a lot of things that people explained about how they experience their disability. Usually, I mean, it was mostly invisible. Some of the things I recognized, so I could understand. So I don't know to what level and so on. Of course, I'm not having the same experience, but it was also very touching to realize that actually it's not like it was complete foreign to me. Yeah. So yeah.
Did it
That's
exhaust you physically?
No, it was fine actually. I was also today. I worked on a little project as well. So so I'm tired now. So I can sense that it was,
Sure.
it was intense. But I know I've really enjoyed it. It was intense in the sense of rich, and really making my map of the world much richer, and connecting with feelings and emotions. And also, I felt uplifted afterwards. I felt maybe also. I think there's still something that's working through. So I'm processing something. I'm feeling that. So I'm not completely clear. We spoke about confusion on Friday as well. As being that place where a pattern is shifting.
Yeah.
But I was feeling uplifted and clearing. I will say it this way. So,
Clearing.
Clearing, yeah. So that's
Interesting.
cool word. So yeah. So that was. I really want to thank you for pushing me, or it's not pushing because you don't push, but for inspiring me. For sort of being there as a friend, and just saying, well, because I was, having this kind of hesitation about the workshop and so on. You really helped me go there, and it would have been horrible if we hadn't done that. So yeah, very much.
It's crazy how much motion, whether physical or emotional or written, like motion is very healing when you're stuck.
Yeah.
If I physically don't feel well and I go visit my spot and watch the Eagles, it might be hard for me to get there. But by the time I'm walking back, even if my body's tired, I feel refreshed,
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of how I felt Friday, where it's like I physically felt like I was exhausted. So much so we were like, hey, let's go pick some huckleberries, right? And we got about halfway, and it was just like, I don't know if I'm going to make it home. Like I might just lay down here on the trail and then I went home, and right below my stairs, I just was like, I'm just laying down, and slept hard, and just right in the middle of the floor where people are walking. And I think I napped for 30 minutes, and the rest of the day, it was just like, I felt like a bomb went off, and it wasn't in a bad way. It was just like, I don't know why that was so exhausting in a positive way. And it's like, let's just not fight it. Let's order pizza and rest. And my wife and I are both in the same boat. We're just like, we're just going to nap today off. And I had to help a buddy the next day, and I felt almost hungover. I didn't even drink, but I felt like, geez, like, okay, let's get out of the house.
Definitely your brain has been processing stuff as well, for sure.
Oh yeah, totally. But the idea of not doing because of perfection is usually what stops people, and just pressing play and just pressing record. And we're in an era where that we can do that. And if people don't accept us in that regard, like those just aren't your people. Keep going. right? Keep looking. There's more out there of positive, loving people.
Yeah. Kenneth is agreeing. You know, you do this to people. Get used to it. I'm okay. I love it. Sometimes, you know, it gets you out of your comfort zone, but that's good. So yeah. So you know, we kind of decided to do this live show, you know, on the spur of the moment, I guess, to chilling on Sunday evening. Well, it's not evening for you; it's like almost midnight for me. So I don't know what time it is over there.
It's like almost 3 p.m. almost.
Yeah. So I told you I was working on a project today, and I wanted to sort of share it. So maybe now is a good time to share that and see what happens with that. So you have no idea what it is about, which I love.
Nope.
And it's a video. So I'm going to, I played with a poem. So I just have to go and get to the right place. Yeah. And then the right name. So people hanging there.
In the beginning of the workshop, the one word we were to write down was wonder.
Yeah.
That was the last word of my poem. I just wanted to tell you that. I forgot.
All right. So watch Hang Tight, Diru. Watch it. That was my project today. You may recognize some stuff.
My friend Dorothy.
Darren, a friend, a special brand of man, a hero in many ways, a human all of the time. With your heart on your sleeves and your brain on fire, you expand my horizons, and I believe things are possible.
Hi, Mia.
Because you dream deep possible.
Oh, wow.
Invite me into action. Darren, a friend, a true, real, wonderful brand of man, a builder of houses, You've seen the worst, you've been the worst, death you understand. You know about hope, new beginnings, scattering seeds of beautiful flowers, so they bring beauty to the world. Darren, a friend, a special brand, a sincere, playful, strong kind of man, the whisperer of souls. With feathers on your hands and a slide in your hand, you heal your wounds with gold, you play the harmonica, learn to write poems, become wiser. Voila, Diru, a friend, a true friend, my favorite brand of friend, a beautiful man. Darren, voila, Darren.
Give yourself a chance. Join us, maybe.
I love it. Wow. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. Thank you so much. That is unbelievable. My head hurts. I've been smiling so hard. Woo.
And mine too.
Wow. That's so cool. Thank you so much.
That was me thanking you for all the supports and the creativity, and you know, for being such a great friend, not just to me but to many people, as we heard from Kenneth, and being such an inspiration as well, and also for your, you know, for being just for creating that space as well, because when you know, you share about your difficulties or your challenges or your, you know, your experiences also in terms of your the learning and the creativity, that helps other people as well to do that. So I'm sure I've learned a lot from that. So yeah.
Wow. I'm really honored, Dorothy. I always feel that way about you. Like, oh man, like I don't know what I'm bringing to the table, because you always have just this, just amazing things you're working on, or, and if we slow down, we're all amazing, I guess, but we don't get to experience it, and I really feel touched by your video, because I don't ever look at myself like that. And so, and a lot of people don't know, I think maybe I don't even have a high self-esteem, but it appears like it, because like this aggression and motion is always around. But if I'm quiet, I don't always look at myself in that way. So I need to do that every now and then. And and I would never put a video together for me. And
for sure, yeah.
How cool. I'll cherish that forever. That's amazing.
And it's all materials coming from your library that I have harvested.
It's all together, and the way just beautiful.
So I was thinking maybe I should read the poem again, because with the special effects and so on, and so then it's also, there's also transcription, and Kenneth says you should. Actually, I don't know. Do I have it? Let me go get it so I can read it for you. And
I wasn't looking at all the chat. Now I see everybody. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, Kenny. I'm glad you just happened to accident by.
Yeah.
My favorite people. I love hanging out with him. He's so cool.
We have to do that, because we haven't. I just see Kenny appearing from time to time, but
he's not as much of a on the face live kind of guy, but in the background, just a beautiful person. Loves humanity. He's so caring. Most people just see his comments. They don't understand the depth who he is. It's so cool. I'm honored to know him. Like, how does that happen?
So I can read it like this. I will have a strange face. But Darren, a friend, a special brand. There is an echo. I don't know where it comes from. That's from.
Here, I'll myself. It's probably me.
Yeah. Darren, a friend, a special brand of man, a hero in many ways, a human all of the time. With your heart on your sleeves and your brain on fire, you expand my horizon, and I believe things are possible, because you dream the impossible. Invite me into action. Darren, a friend, a true, real, wonderful brand of man, a builder of houses, a builder of homes. You have seen the worst. You have been the worst. Having brushed with death, you know about hope, about beginnings. You scatter seeds of beautiful flowers so they bring beauty to the world. It's actually an older version, but that's okay. Darren, a friend, a special brand, sincere, creative, playful, a strong and kind man, the whisperer of souls. With feathers on your hats and a slide in your hand, you healed your wounds with gold. You play the harmonica, learn to write poems, become wise. Voila. Diru, 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 a friend, a true friend, my favorite brand of friend, a beautiful man, Darren. Voila, Darren.
Gela Kasla. Thank you, my friend. Gela Kasla. I'm very, very touched. Olagem Mutla. I'm very blessed right now, feeling. That's my native language, Kwakwala, in a dialect called Likwala. That's even more rare. And I'm saying that to you because, Dorothy, you led me to those waters. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
It's I'm so touched by your poem. Yeah, you've led me to family and to deeper roots. There's just no roots where I was at that were deep. And as I look elsewhere, I see acceptance. I feel it. I see the motion, and there's a reception that feels like this there, already. And so I wouldn't have ever known that if the drums weren't calling. And that is where it started, right? With a poem. The drums are calling. A word I said to you, didn't even know it. It's just remarkable.
Yeah. How
so
much has, Could you show us your hat? Do you want to explain your hat?
Oh, sure. This is a hat I had just put away in my closet. I'll put it closer to the camera. Oh, where are we at? Over here. So where am I going?
It's hard. Yeah, we can see
facial recognition. Anyways, there are these are mostly eagle feathers, and there's a couple owl feathers on here. This hat is a Black Rifle Coffee Company hat, which I used to really think they were awesome, driving around in their cars and shooting guns at dirt or whatever to make loud noises and to feel the explosions. And I stopped wearing the hat when people stormed the White House because of my beard. And I used to have short hair. This is the first time in my life I've ever allowed my hair to do this, which is also a blessing. But I put it away because I didn't want any part of that. But it was one of my favorite hats. And then as I learned of the residential schools that were happening here, and they were discovering bodies of children and returning them home, and I'm in language class with my elders learning my native tongue and learning our culture, which is actually more important than the tongue, right? The culture is what's been slowing me down. And I created this hat because I was drawing every day and my arm would just hurt. And it was just a moment of inspiration. And as I wear this hat, though, I feel it's sort of wild, right? It's like you don't see people with feathers glued all over their hat. And but this is more me than any hat probably I've ever owned. And sometimes I don't want to wear it because I think people will think of me in a way. See, that's where people think I have this killer self-esteem. And I don't know what that seed is, but I wore it last week out, to a business meeting. And because I did, the owner of the establishment said to me from across the room, "Hey, what kind of feathers are those?" And what I expected to be is like, "What's with the feathers?"
Right.
And he said, "What kind of feathers are those?" And when I said, "Oh, well, this one's an eagle and he said, "Man, have you ever felt an eagle feather?" And he just had all this passion. And so I had a connected moment, and it just reminded me if I'm inspired to create, then I should wear this. I made this for a gift for me. And it really doesn't matter what anybody thinks about it, right? It's Rob Roy is a person I don't know if a lot of people know online. And I interviewed him last year and was never able to get his interview online because of my arm. But what I learned from him was he just says that he has this inner fabulousness, and he's a gender fluid person. And so sometimes he dresses as a very, he has a whole like alter ego of a woman that's very out there. And so we were out talking, and he just said, I said, "When do you feel your best?" And he's like, "When I feel fabulous." And he yelled that outside. I'm going to go find that this week. I want the world to see that because he said, everyone has fabulous. And I was like, "I don't feel fabulous." And he was like, "Well, you have some things you could probably look at then, because everyone has something." And he was equating it to dress, which is funny because he's so passionate about dress. And to me, it's like actually dress is like probably the least expressionistic thing in my life, or was. And then I went to the thrift store with my wife and dropped, $100 on chaos. And now I have a red polyester coat.
It's beautiful. I love it.
Fun. And so I'm just going to have fun with my costume that I have to wear. because we can't walk around, you know, with a leaf.
Yeah, and as you said, it's sort of because you were wearing that hat, you were able to create a connection, or that person was able to create a connection. So you're kind of creating or giving opportunities for difference or conversation on other channels, you know, because often what do we have to share as conversation? You know, it's like the business, or maybe it's the weather, or you know, that type of this, or maybe it's sports. But it's I think it's good if you show yourself for who you are, with all of your, you know, craziness and all your quirks and so on. Yes, it may throw some people off, but on the other hand, you will create some connections that you might not create otherwise. So
absolutely. And you know what Rob Roy was saying is, like, when you walk out the door, like, you should kind of put your shoulders back and feel like, here I come. And I never feel like that, you know, here I come, world. And like, but you know, if I walk into a cigar lounge with a Wu-Tang t-shirt, which is a rap group that people may not know, and my overalls and this hat, I'm fully comfortable. I feel great. And if there's a quirk or this or that it's just the leaving the house, I feel weird. But once I'm in it, I'm already myself, you know, and nobody thinks, they may think you're weird. And if they do, it's like, oh, cool. That's not my people. My people need to see that so they know where they can find me, you know, under all this militant clothing I had, you know, was never me either.
I think Kenneth is hooked to this conversation.
he's so fun.
I love him. Yeah, I mean, that's I mean, I have a special piece of clothing actually today. So I'm going to stand up and show you, you know.
Let's check it out. Oh wow, you got it. That's awesome. Smile project. That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's a little wink, and thank you as well for
beautiful
sharing those with your life, you know, sharing those beautiful stories and beautiful people to the world, and encouraging everyone to be the best they can be in a loving way.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so
that's why I like Michael Ray. He's so different than me, but he's doing it his way, and a lot of people don't get that. It doesn't matter. There's millions of us that will eventually, right? Like we just keep going. Just keep going.
So Darren, I'm thinking I would love to hear some music from you.
Okay. Is
that okay? Maybe the guitar or the organ? And maybe it's, go for it. You want?
We use that one for, to start out our business meetings. All right. So what would you like to hear? Stairway to Heaven?
Sure.
No, we're not allowed to play that. You don't know that?
Oh, that wouldn't be.
In the guitar stores, some of them, because of Wayne's World, they put on the wall, no stairway. Because that's like one of the first songs everybody plays. Yeah. Let me see if I can even remember it.
So this is your daughter's guitar, right?
No, I didn't actually go get it. This is my arch top. It's a 1960s guitar that I traded a guitar that wasn't working for and then spent way too much money to fix it. It's really not like a extra valuable guitar to a collector because of some aspects of it, but I upgraded everything. So I don't mind if it gets beat around, I try to have instruments I can take with me.
So Kenny is always asking for patience.
Kenny, I don't actually play other people's music.
Yeah. It just is.
I do like that song. Oh, I wasn't actually ready to play anything today. Let's go.
Yeah, I really sprung this on you. But that's what you've been wanting to do for your live LinkedIn.
Absolutely. But because of my arm, I've been not really able to practice more than about 3 or 4 minutes at a time. And so like some of you'll hear me kind of playing the same loops around. And those are because there's some songs I'm working on in my head. Yeah. Some of these are from your help sort of you remember what was the first song we were doing? Who is to say?
Who is to say? Yeah.
Yeah. Can you sing it?
No. I don't know the song actually. I've never heard it.
You wrote all the lyrics.
I know the poem, yes. I can get it home if you want.
I lost it. I heard there's a quarter of a song.
Oh, it's beautiful. I'm discovering it.
You'll hear it live when you sing it live. Dorothy, live in Brussels.
Yeah.
Who is to say?
Touring to Seattle.
Who is to say? Something like that. I can't remember the lyrics.
I can say the lyrics. Who is to say what the pain will be? I will name it if I will survive. Who is to say what prayer will be heard? How long will I feel hurt if I will learn? Who's to say when I'll move from counting my symptoms to counting my blessings, if I will share? Who's to say where the light will come through and the gold seal the wound, if I will heal? Who is to say?
See, you want to sing it.
That can be to myself. When I'll slow down enough, if I'll find my own peace. Who's to say? Who's to say what my bridge can be? Who I can talk to honestly? If I can lift my eyes up. Who's to say how much more I can love myself? How I turn my labels into gold. If I can cry at the sky, who's to say? All yours.
You see, it wrote itself. That's your song. That is your song. Beautiful. You see how you just wanted to sing it? I could feel it. Because that's the song. That's the song. That's beautiful. those lyrics are hard to even hear because I've spent so many times putting music to it that at some point I tear up if I'm playing my other guitar.
Yeah.
Steel one is what I did. My resonator is what I wrote all of the solo on. And then I was using the harmonica to kind of chug that, kind of background. Yes.
I'm furious with you, because you always speak about the song and I never,
I'm sorry. Everything is stuck here in my house. I need technical help. If anybody knows me, call me. I need technical advice.
Yeah, we'll have to spend some, summer camps or something like that.
At
Find a
one
way.
point, we'll have like a whole video editing team here. Just a couple people. I don't mean and they'll help us catch up on that. So it's just and then I can get in and spend more time putting that together. And I'm learning how to do the recording side as we go, which is so fun. So as a song writes itself, it pushes you to want to get back in there. Oh, actually, the reason I had stopped writing the song was because this guitar was in the shop, remember? And I said I couldn't play it. It wasn't recording right. And so then I had to buy this special thing that's replicates a tube amp. So it sounds sort of rich. And so now I have to learn how to use this.
Every time we have a conversation is about something you need to learn.
Well,
I'm learning. I'm learning the recording as well, so that's not so easy. So the poem for the video, I recorded with an actual mic, and connected to an amplifier, but anyway, so that was a part of the fun for today. So I think we've come to kind of the end of this broadcast. No, I think unless you want to say something about your objective for the week to come, have you? Do you have some focus for next week?
Wow. I think honestly, my focus is to, as I am out in public, watch that hypervigilance that I learned from the poetry retreat, because it's out to get me. And all it does is take my energy and steal my joy. I don't need that. It's not even helpful, because even on my worst day, I'm very observant. And I haven't been in real danger for a while, and I just have to remember that I'm safe here. I'm good. There's other people around me that are safe and good and protecting me too, that I don't even know, but they will. They'll help me. And I forget that I'm not the superhero, right? In my head, I got to take care of everything. It's not true.
No.
So my objective is I have some agenda, I guess, with James, Jimmy Jam. We're hoping to get the car down to our new facility and start the washing real estate thing. And that was really his baby. And so the way I'm making that his baby and my baby is I'm bringing my music with me. So as we go with James's washing cars, I'm going to figure out how I can bring some of this stuff downtown Seattle and, see if we can get the mechanics dancing.
Cool.
But our newest, or not newest, but a real big idea that we, Jimmy Jam and I are watching each other for is as we enter the week with a lot of things on our plate is to be completely open-handed about it.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. I have no agenda here. Now I have ideas and I have a checklist of things, but if I focus too much on that, I'm going to hurt myself.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm going this week. I want a week of peace and want others around me to feel peace in me, and maybe that didn't happen great last week in a few places. So
sounds like a good plan.
How about you?
I guess me too. I have some podcasts and writing I want to do, but I don't have a fixed agenda either, so it's there is that focus. So I really want to make some progress in that. But I'm also going to play it by ear, as I like to do, and see what idea comes up to disturb my plans and make me creative.
Absolutely.
But I've made progress because now I can use the mic and have a better audio, because the last podcast I have to redo because it wasn't quality enough. So
Oh,
Anyway,
too much
And-
background noise.
a little bit like high or screechy or something like that. I have no idea, but anyway. So play, write, that type of things.
Beautiful.
And of course, I've got some meetings and so on and so on. Okay, sorry, we are not. Sorry, Stace. We just anyway. It's finished. I'm leaving.
I think she wants to come down and be live.
Do you want to come live, Stace?
I highly doubt it.
I thought so too. All right. Anyway, it was fun to do this last minute. It was
Very
great.
cool.
And,
Yeah, thank you for. Yeah, it was definitely last minute and a lot of fun. This is awesome.
Yeah, and thank you everyone for showing up. Stacy, Kenneth, Mia, the whole family was here.
I know.
And
Right?
and also Aline at the beginning of the show. So really cool.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody. This is
yeah.
cool.
So have a great evening.
You as well. Get some rest. It is late for you.
Yeah, like it's midnight now. So
yeah,
very cool. All right.
Thank you for everything today. That was so cool. Thanks, Dorothy.
Yeah. Thank you. Love you. See you soon.
All right. We love you too.
Bye-bye.